one thing that I have watched and admired over the years, even as I stepped away into different facets of the business, was like how he promotes his people, right? It's very unique. And it's unfortunately not something I've had the good fortune to experience consistently in my career, is that desire to like promote somebody and like see them shine. And he's just a very like confident, open-hearted person who understands that like the more successful his team is, the more successful
raises his profile
he's
as
going
well.
to be. The company's going to be. He really is kind of selfless. It's like
Servant leadership.
He's like,
I think
we
they
call him
it.
our mascot.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to another edition of the Ad Podcast. We have Julie Levin, who is the Executive Vice President of Strategic Growth at the Stagwell Network, and she is going to share some exciting news with us today here on day 3 of Possible. So, Julie, thanks for coming on and breaking some news with our audience, or at least sharing the excitement with our audience. So tell us what's going on.
Yeah. So, first of all, good job on the name. People have trouble with Levin.
Yeah, I think I'm familiar with the
you got it. You nailed it.
It's must be my news consumption habits.
Yeah, must be your professional skill set.
Let's go.
Yeah, no, it's exciting. The news just broke in campaign earlier today, about 10 minutes ago.
Let's go.
So let's go, which I'm so excited. It's finally out there in the market. I joined Stagwell officially. The date was March 30th.
Nice.
So it's been just about a month.
Yep.
I can't believe how fast time has gone.
Drinking from a fire hose.
Drinking from the fire hose.
Nice.
Went right into Possible, which was like back in the belly of the beast. And this is a bit of a return for me.
Yep.
So I had a long career actually on the agency side, flipping between client service and business development, sometimes holding dual roles depending on the agency. And I evolved in my career. I'm an infinitely curious person, and I could see where the market was going. So I actually made a detour into a more overt sales role at the regional Fox Sport Network in Southern California. I have a huge passion for sports. Had the opportunity to bring a very different perspective, working much more directly with CMOs and brand marketers versus just the media folks within the agency world. Plus, I also did know how to navigate an agency. So the combination of those relationships, I think, brought a new sort of way of working that partnerships angle at the Fox network. Came back from LA back to New York in 2022.
Okay. Do you miss the West Coast?
I miss the weather. And I had actually the unique opportunity to have a brand side role.
Oh, fun.
So I was at Verizon.
You've done a little bit of everything.
Done a little bit of everything.
Seen it from all angles.
Seen it from all angles, and that's actually what I think makes me in a really unique position this time around on the growth side. So had a role in the agency investment team at Verizon, which sits between the marketers and sourcing.
Okay.
Liaising with both.
Kind of like a hybrid procurement, media placement.
But much more, we're all ex-agency people, lots of tenure in the agency landscape, different verticals of expertise. My focus was on the value brand portfolio and the sponsorship agency network, which in partnership with the VP of sponsorship, I really built out. But what that role afforded me the opportunity is have, like, you say you have client empathy, but when you're working hand in glove with marketers on truly what's keeping them up at night, advertising is obviously one piece of it.
Yeah, but it's a big piece.
But their challenges are many. And sometimes the opportunity was to go in and reset the existing agency relationship. Sometimes there was an opportunity to identify the right partner for this new phase of growth or launch or product development. So I had to be an infinite student of the landscape And it's really hard to be in that seat.
Yeah.
I mean, you could spend 90% of your time meeting with agencies, learning about, how the agency landscape is evolving, who's coming in, who's going out, what the different agency paradigms look like. And it's just not enough hours in the day because you also have to do your job, right?
Yeah.
And so I now find myself in the position where I can actually be that navigator for people.
You can be a curator of your network.
I can be a curator of our network. And we have 75 plus agencies and counting. And that is a really unique way to go to somebody and truly be of service.
Yeah, it's almost like a search consultant within your portfolio of companies. You can kind of come in and say, hey, what are the problems that you're facing? And chances are, with 75 different brands on the door, so to speak, there's probably a capability in there somewhere where it can handle most issues.
That's exactly right.
Yeah,
and
exciting.
It's look, obviously it's within our portfolio, but as you said, 70 plus is no small number.
Yeah.
And the other thing that's really unique about us as a holding company is that we are not merging away our brands. We're actually there to amplify and invest in our brands and cultures. There is no singular model. There is no forced collaboration. It's all voluntary.
And it's all entrepreneurs running their own P&Ls and getting after it.
I think there's 90% of our companies are still founder-led.
Wow,
which is nuts.
That's something to be proud of, because
number.
Most people, when they sell their agencies, they're figuring out how to get the hell out of there as fast as possible and start their next agency.
Exactly. It's what are you going to do next, right?
Yeah.
How do I get
Or they're
my
forced
earn out?
I just talked to a friend, who was done dirty by another holding company after a 26-year career with them after selling his agency to them. And, it's sad when there's not an emphasis on the founder and the brands and the legacy that,
there's a reason you wanted to acquire that business, right?
Exactly. Yep.
And you would think the sort of the core value set comes from the people. I mean, really, at the end of the day, agency is a collection of the talent.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
It's
you're
resumes,
selling people.
awards, capabilities. Yeah, but ultimately the people. Yeah,
that's right. Because the people are the ones who make the work, right? That is the legacy.
Yeah.
And when there isn't a thoughtful way of handling that or nurturing it or succession planning. So that's what I love. And so listen, it's you can't just go in there like a bull in a china shop and say, you guys are going to work together and this is how it's going to go. This is how we're going to It's not at all about that. It's some of it is almost like a casting agent. So Ryan Linder, who is our global chief growth officer, and he is amazing. He considers himself as much of a casting agent and a matchmaker as he is a true business partner.
That's smart. It's who is the client? Where are they in their stage of life? What are the things that they're excited about?
Exactly.
It's
what are
the
right
real life
personality,
it's the real life
skill
chemistry
set.
test, and
Real
almost
life.
the building around it.
And
because
so
so important.
You got it. You inherently get it, which I think most people do. It's not an overly intellectual or complicated proposition. And
You're going to spend a lot of time together.
A lot of time.
The phone
You're
call
in the
you have with your
trenches
agency
together.
should be the best call of your week.
Okay, so this is the other thing. And listen, every agency, nobody's perfect, right? Relationships have a push and pull. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
But one of the things that I found interesting being on the other
side
was I think the perspective that a lot of agencies have is disproportionate, and some of the battles that they choose to fight are only causing more angst for the marketer. So
fighting for their idea, whether
sometimes fighting for the idea makes sense.
But if it's not something that is in the best interest of the client, it's to win a statue somewhere or to get a notch on your resume. It's incentive alignment.
Correct.
Yeah.
And from what I've seen so far, listen, I'm a month in.
Sure.
And getting to know the agencies, and really a huge part of my role is deeply understanding the different agency positionings, the people. what they offer beyond like the written out services, right? Like who are they and how do they uniquely deliver? Like even within the creative agencies, right? We have a portfolio.
Yeah, you have a lot of options there too.
A lot of options.
And a lot of like options that have a lot of pedigree. I mean, 72 and Sunny, CPB, like these are like, major
Iconic.
brands in their own right. Yeah.
Yeah. They're storied. And I think so, but for the most part, it's like the sensibility of people, like at the leadership level at Stagwell, is really uniquely, it's entrepreneurial, and there's like a niceness, which I know sounds lame, but it's like, listen, it's not without edge.
Sure. Yeah.
And there is like, everybody is incredibly driven, and there is an expectation of success. Like. It's not like, oh, hey, I'm just going to relax and enjoy like camaraderie with my people. But the ingoing is like goodwill.
Yeah, that's cool.
And like safety and kindness. It's different.
I mean, people don't hire people to have them fail, right? They want you to win because it's at the end of the day they hired you for a reason. So
that's another piece of it. Yeah. So Ryan is someone that I met as a peer in the industry years ago. Typically in a business development growth role in an agency, you're a bit of a lone wolf, right? Because yes, you are generating a lot of ROI, but you're also not like
you're not attached to business.
You're not attached to business, right? So you're not coming in essentially paid for.
Yeah.
And we found a lot of camaraderie in our new business community and developed a friendship. And one thing that I have watched and admired over the years, even as I stepped away into different facets of the business, was like how he promotes his people, right? It's very unique. And it's unfortunately not something I've had the good fortune to experience consistently in my career, is that desire to like promote somebody and like see them shine. And he's just a very like confident, open-hearted person who understands that like the more successful his team is, the more successful
raises his profile
he's going to be. The company's going to be. He really is kind of selfless. It's like
servant leadership.
He's like, we call him our mascot. Like truly, like he is Stagwell, and it's just like that was a huge incentive to me. And even when it hurts to lose the people because they move on to an opportunity to grow, sometimes it happens outside the company. Like I watch him cheering them on, and that's a big deal to me.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So, and that seems to be like a pervasive
it's a cultural
value,
thing that you see throughout the organization.
Paradigm within the company. And I think like the last thing is like we are marketing transformation company as a whole. And we are like the anti-holding company, in that we are not tied to, I mean, essentially Stagwell's been around since 2021. The growth has been seismic. There's a reason for it. But they're not attached to, one of the reasons it's so hard for the legacy holding companies to evolve is because of like the dollars and investment and years of institution that they have in these legacy media.
And technology that they're
and technology is like layered on top. It's like not built on top of, unlike Stagwell, which is built on top of AI.
I love that.
And we have like, we are born of the fact that there is not a separation between brand building and performance marketing, that they are one and the same.
They're the same,
And so all of our agencies, whether it's Code and Theory, whether it's Anomaly, whether it's, Assembly, any of our agencies in any segment of the holdco, that's the philosophy. And it's really amazing. So I kind of feel like I'm sitting on this like wealth of assets and tools for marketers that is really unique.
Yeah, that's exciting.
And when I watched, sitting at Verizon and watching the Omnicom IPG merger, I worked at multiple Omnicom and IPG agencies. I'm a big fan of many of those brands. None of the ones I worked at were merged out of existence, but I worked with like FCB, for
Oh yeah,
example.
I did a whole series on
He's one of our
remembering
agencies.
DDB, and like guys who, I've been trying to get onto the podcast for years and never responded when I said, hey, I want to do this retrospective on DDB, like David Angelo from
Yes.
David and Goliath.
I love
and
David. He's a
just
friend
like, yeah,
and a
just
mentor.
like really
and
cool,
really cool guy.
Yeah, and people had such nostalgia and passion for these brands because
such an emotional like attachment to the experience.
And the founders, even if they were passed away many years ago, like the lessons that were kind of passed down through those institutions and the thinking and thought leadership and foundational,
the lessons
contributions
and the
to the
legacy.
book of creativity,
But seeing so many like incredibly successful, respected folks like out in the marketplace was hard. And there was a moment where you're like, what is happening to this industry that like I chose and grew up in and spent more years than I want to admit publicly, because that's like giving away things I would rather not give away. But it was like, so this is kind of like an opportunity to be part of like the future and the evolution in the positive, like most exciting way. And so like for all these reasons, like I sound like a little pious here talking about Stagwell, but it's like genuine.
It's exciting. Yeah, I mean, you can feel your enthusiasm and it's come across that you really enjoy the people that you're working with.
I love this place, and I really want to
excited.
make an impact for them. And like this time around, like you do get to a point in your career where like it's not about proving something; it's about like leaving a mark,
Sure.
like the opportunity to leave a legacy. And this, I feel like, is maybe that time for me.
Let's go. Well, I'm excited to
LFG.
continue to follow along on the journey.
Thank you.
Feel free to come
And
give
I
us
hope you get
updates
to meet
whenever you
some
have
of
some
my
exciting
fellow
wins.
segment leaders. It's an
100%.
amazing crew.
Anytime they want to come on,
Yeah.
doors open.
Love it.
All
Shout
right.
out.
If folks want to follow along with your thinking and follow along for the journey, where do you want to send people to learn more or stay in touch with you?
They can find me on LinkedIn, Julie Levin. There's a few of us on LinkedIn. So just make sure to include Stagwell and I'll pop right up.
Beautiful.
And check out the campaign article, which broke, I think, at 9 a.m. this morning.
Let's go. Congrats.
Thank you.
Good luck. Cheers.